Hello, Steel City Surge fans. Kippy here, coach of the Steel City Surge, back for week 5 of PMPL, I believe. Could very well be wrong about that. We are taking on Gunk this week. We see Terra Fairy Larvesta and Terra Dragon Golduck. Again, I do apologize for the lack of a transaction video. I've been dealing with a lot of personal stuff recently, so I haven't had exactly a good amount of time to create that and upload it accordingly. So here we are. Week 5, I believe. I could be wrong. I'm losing track of where we are at this point in the season. But we got a solid matchup here into Gunk, I believe. We do see a Sneasel lead. Okay. Sneasel Hisui lead is not the best situation for me because we go down to pretty much any move he wants to go for. So we're going to go hard swap into Weezing. Really did not want to have to do that this early, but I didn't know exactly what the lead was. I thought it would be Klefki or Piloswine as opposed to Sneasel. But I think we're fine. We're going to make the easy switch here. He hard swaps. What does he hard swap into? Stupid horse. That's the Piloswine. Okay. So it goes into hard into Piloswine. This is okay. As we go into our Weezing. This is one of our checks into this thing, so I'm okay with this. I'm going to go for a Will-O-Wisp right off the bat. I want to get chip on this thing, and on the other side, burn is pretty good into everything except Larvesta, obviously. Golduck doesn't exactly matter with that a whole lot. We do get the Will-O-Wisp off, so that's huge. Probably going to see rocks from this thing now, if I were to guess. Yeah, that makes sense. That checks out, but we do have Tidy Up on Furret, so not too worried about that currently. How much are we doing to a Sludge Wave to Piloswine? This Stealth Rock. Sludge Wave isn't doing that much, but we are going to get some chip on something. And I don't want to reveal Psybeam early. Psybeam is specifically for that Sneasel. You do have to keep in mind he is burned currently, so the damage on the other side is not going to be quite as much. The only thing that wants to switch into a Sludge Wave currently is probably that Sneasel or the Klefki. If it's the Sneasel, great, that's extra little chip. He does stay in. Get that little bit of chip on with the Sludge Wave. Goes for Freeze Dry. Okay, so it's a special set. Interesting. It's going to do a decent little chip damage. Freeze Dry. 271 to 208. So it did 23%. So that's specially offensive. That's some special offense for sure. He's at like 77%. So I'm gonna actually go for a little bit of a pain split here, because if it's max bulk, then we should get some HP back. Yeah, we get some HP back. Let's go for another Freeze Dry, that's fine. Whittle this thing down little by little. So we're at 186. This thing is at, I want to say rough, just above 60. I would say 61%. And we are at 186 currently. So we're at 69. We'll gain a little bit of HP back. Because this thing keeps going for Freeze Dry, how much is Freeze Dry going to do to like Bastiodon? It's not going to do a lot. But I also don't want to swap into an Earthquake or an Earth Power specifically. I mean, Earth Power wouldn't be that bad, I don't think. It's going to be pretty bad, actually. I'm gonna go for another Sludge Wave here. He does swap. Okay. So what are we gonna catch on the swap with the Sludge Wave? Money Machine. That is the Kippy. Okay, that's a good swap. That is a good swap. So we see Stealth Rock, Freeze Dry. Don't quite know what that thing is yet. I know it's a special. Now, Kippy here. I'm going to go into my Bastiodon. If this thing is offensive in any way, shape, or form, I can get off a Stealth Rock. I can go for a Roar. Plus, Kippy doesn't exactly get a whole lot to deal with Bastiodon, like, at all. You see Psychic. Okay. Yeah, so it does seem to be more of an offensive build, which is fine. So he doesn't have anything for Earth Power. Okay, so Kippy went for Psychic and took us from Stealth Rocks on our side. Kippy did very, very little damage. It did like 20%. Let me just do calculations real quick, because... yeah, it did like roughly 20%, so it's got some investment. I'm going to go for an Earth Power, though, because I want to get damage on this thing. And he hard swaps. Okay. So he hard swaps. What does he hard swap into? Nothing really likes to take an Earth Power here. He goes into the Golduck. Okay. And this is Terra Dragon Golduck. It takes a decent chunk. So it takes a little bit. Now, Golduck doesn't exactly get a ton to deal with Politoed specifically, and if it does Terra Dragon, I'm just gonna hard swap straight into Francis here. If it does Terra Dragon, we do have Ice Beam. Calm Mind. Okay. So that's annoying. The cool thing is, though, I think I do very, very well into this regardless. Golduck, if it's not invested in at +1 Spadef against Politoed, Hypnosis puts this thing to sleep, and he doesn't want to stay in on that. Taunts! No! Okay. That's annoying. Taunts, Calm Mind. I don't think he can really do much outside of setup on me, though. That is annoying. I don't think he outspeeds Flat Bull. No, he does outspeed Flat Bull, so that's a problem. We are Terra Grounds, so this is a slight issue. Again, I don't think... he is Modest, Terra Blast, Terra Dragon against Politoed. That could do some damage, but if he has Terra Dragon, I'm gonna go for an Earth Power. We're gonna stay in and go for an Earth Power. He does Terra. Okay. So he does Terra right away, so I can get an Ice Beam off right after this. Now the question is he Modest? And does he go for... he goes right for the Terra Blast. Okay. Brings us down to 177. Do we get the drop? We do not get the drop. All right, so we're at 177 currently. 46%. If he's Modest, it's a roll. Unless he's like Dragon Plate. He is chipped down a decent bit. I'm gonna go for an Ice Beam, because I want to get this chip down if we live that. If he's not modest and he is timid, we live. At least we should live. We do live! Okay. Huge. We get the Ice Beam off. That does a good amount of damage. We see Citrus. Okay. We do get the taunt off. So he's got to be timid then. He's timid. Then I can go into Bastiodon, take a Terra Blast, and I can roar him out right after. Because even with the Stealth Rock, we're at 100%. If he gets the +2 timid, then we don't live. But I think he goes for another taunt. That's a problem. I'm gonna go straight for an Ice Beam here, because no, I'm gonna Hypnosis, because if he goes for another Calm Mind, he goes straight for a Terra Blast. Okay, so he's gonna knock us out. He's only at +1. I can force him out with my Bostiff with a Crunch. Or I could go for a Play Rough. I think I can force him out with my Bostiff here. Because Terra Blast and Surf at +1, if he's timid, doesn't knock us out. And he doesn't know we're a Choice Band Stakeout. And I don't even think Klefki likes taking Stakeout Crunch. No. Doesn't even really like taking Play Rough, so... Plus, if I can force this thing out, I'm going to force it out. I'm assuming this last move is Surf, based on this, just to get this play off. So I'm going to Crunch. I'm going to force him out. He already Terra'd too, so he showed his hand. And if I can get rid of these rocks with Furret later... Honestly, Politoed going down, not the worst thing in the world. I'm really annoyed I couldn't use my Hypnosis Blunder Policy set, but it is what it is. Can't really do anything about that. Taunt was a very nice bring on the Golduck. If I got that Hypnosis off, it was either really good because the Golduck was asleep, or we got the Blunder Policy speed boost, and we would have outsped the Golduck. He's trying to figure out what he wants to go into. That Klefki's not going to like this damage, so he does Hard Swap. So we do force it out. We are Choice Band with Stakeout. Hollywood Baby. That's the Larvesta, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I don't think this is going to like it either. Oh, that nearly takes it down. We do get the Flame Body, though. Okay. That's a very defensive Larvesta. We do not have any speed investment. This has to be like 252 impish. Yeah, that was a roll with Stakeout. That was a roll. So I can stay in and go for another Crunch if I really wanted to. That is an extremely defensive Eviolite Larvesta. I'm gonna... I mean, do I really need to do that much? Because I can just throw down rocks at some point with Bastiodon and that'll go down. Do I really want Flatbull getting procced with that burn? I don't think so. I'm gonna take the KO here. He hard swaps again! Okay. Money Machine. That's gotta be the Klefki, right? Yeah, this is gonna take a decent little chunk. But we do stay in. We're gonna get another Stakeout boosted Crunch there. If we get the defense drop, that'd be crazy. That's okay, though. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. I kind of want to go into Furret and get rid of these. Let's see here. It's the Klefki here with Psychic. Onto Furret. I do like going for tidy up and knockoff. So I'm gonna go into Ferret here. If I get paralyzed, I get paralyzed, but I don't think he goes for... He definitely doesn't go for any sort of prankster move here. He goes for play rough or something. We're gonna go into fuzzy feed. Get the frisk. We do see a citrus, double citrus this week. Interesting. Okay, so citrus on the clef key. Goes right back into Hollywood, baby. Okay. So we do know it's Flame Body. I'm honestly just gonna U-turn because this thing goes down. If it gets the Flame Body proc, it doesn't. That's good. I might be able to force the clef key back in with this, like going into Mabostiff, because even if we're burned, the Sod does a massive amount of damage. But I think I can go into Bastiodon here. Maybe I can force Bleck in. Because what's left? Yeah, I can I can force Bleck in here. I don't like taking chip damage with it, but I'm kind of forced to go into it, I think. It puts pressure on my opponent, for sure. Yeah, we're gonna go into Bleck. We're gonna go into Bleck and kind of force the Golduck in, or force that Clef Key back in. If the Clef Key comes in onto Flat Bowl, I might be able to Terra Ground and Trailblaze. I think I'll be able to Terra Ground and Trailblaze because that would prevent a Thunder Wave. If we see the Golduck, I'm probably gonna hard swap into something. I don't know. We're forcing the Golduck in. I know it's max attack and timid, so it's probably max speed as well. It is Terra Dragon, Money Machine. Okay, so that's the Clef Key. Okay, so this is really good for us then. What does Clef Key get? I mean, it could, if it's Trick Room, that's crazy. I am going to go ahead and Terra and then Trailblaze. Because I think it's Prankster with T-Wave. We're going to get our Terra off here. We're going to get the Trailblaze off too. Terra Ground so we don't get paralyzed. Very curious to see what happens here. See, Rain Dance. Okay, so that's Swift Swim Golduck then. Okay, so that's Swift Swim. This is fine. Because I don't think he wants to hard swap into a ground move at all on Golduck. Because Terra Blast from Terra Ground, we are +1 speed now. Gotta keep that in mind. I could go for a Grab Apple here, probably. Grab Apple doesn't do that much. Although I have to keep in mind that Golduck is injured currently. That Golduck is very badly injured. That Golduck is pretty badly injured. So I'm going to go for a Terra Blast. No, he's going to try to sack it. I'm going to go for Trailblaze. He's going to try to sack it. He's going to try to sack this. So if I go for another Trailblaze, he stays in. If I go for another Trailblaze. Okay, what does he go for? Goes for that. He gets the Citrus. That's fine. What does he go for? Dazzling Gleam. Okay. It's going to do some damage here. We're at 137. If this is offensive Clef Key, like I think it is, then Dazzling Gleam. Okay, it's doing a good chunk to us. So I think we have to go for the Terra Blast here. But we are at +2 speed. It is raining currently. I'm at 137. It's 49%. Dazzling Gleam, unless this is max special attack, I think we can live. But honestly, with Golduck, because it's Surf, what do I still have? What do I still have? I can, like, sack Furt if I really need to. I'm gonna go for the Terra Blast here. We're gonna get that Terra Blast off. Flatbull is gonna get the knockout here. We're currently at 49%. I'm expecting to see the Golduck here. Yep, that's the Golduck. So with rain up, Swift Swim, Terra Dragon. It is raining. So he definitely outspeeds me. If he is max Swift Swim. Terra Blast Dragon does knock us out here too. This flat will do much here to the rest of this team. I kind of like it into Morpeko. But what does Golduck do to the rest of my team? Golduck does a lot to the rest of my team. I don't think I need to do... Because I can't go into Bastiodon then. I think I'm gonna go for the Outrage. Yeah, he does go for Surf. Alright, so he's gonna knock us out here. Yeah. Okay. Golduck does have Surf as his last move. In the rain. That is annoying, but can't really do much against it. He's not set up at the moment, though. So... let's see. It is rain, Surf. It's going to do a lot to Bastiodon. I don't want to go into that. Mabostiff, we're currently at 274. We're at 75. So we're going to drop down to, what, 60-something%? We should be able to live that and force it out with a go for a Facade. So I'm going to go into Mabostiff because nothing wants to take a Choice Band boosted Facade. We are burned. Yeah, Facade is going to... we're at 229 currently. So 229. Yeah, we're at 63% currently. So we definitely live. We definitely live a Surf from this thing. So we go for a Facade here. Bringing Choice Band, Stakeout boosted Facade with this thing is absolutely diabolical. We should be able to get a knockout on either this or something else. I don't think he stays in. He does! We lived on one! Oh, okay. Alright, so... massive threat neutralized. On the last turn of rain, too. Honestly, Mabostiff came through with that 1 HP live. Morpeko is kind of scary currently. But I think I should be able to deal with it. I think Weezing is probably my best play here. All things considered. Psychic Fangs is annoying from this guy. Because Weezing deals with Sneasel and Piloswine. I think he goes into Sneasel. Because Sneasel does a lot to my other guys. Sneasel does a lot to my other two. I kind of want to go into Furret, because then I don't take any chip damage. And I get to frisk whatever comes in. So we're going to go into Furret. He goes into Dorito and Frito, so that's the Sneasel. Okay. So I got to see what item this thing is. Choice Scarf. Okay. Choice Scarf. That is different. Choice, Scarf, Sneasel, Hisui. Buddy wanted so much speed. I can go into Wheezing here pretty free, I think. Partly because nothing really wants to... Like, it's not going to be able to do really anything to me. I think he goes for a fighting move. Choice Scarf, that's different. Last time he swapped out. Last time he swapped, so... He could run, like, Switcheroo or something. But if he does run Switcheroo, he's gonna really screw himself, I think. Depends if he's Adamant. He stayed in. Even Adamant doesn't really do much. I'll take a little bit of chip here. It's fine. We're still above half. He does Switcheroo. So we're going to be Choice Scarf Wheezing, which I think is hilarious. Because now he's got Rocky Helmet. And we have a Choice Scarf. We don't outspeed still. But now I can't really reliably go for the Psybeam. I am very tempted to go for Will-O-Wisp again. We're currently at what, 153? 153, so we're at 56%. Pain Split does not do anything for me against... Oh, well... Pain Split does do a decent chunk for me. And it does do good against the Morpeko. And it should do good against that Piloswine, because we did take more damage. I'm going to go for a Pain Split here, because I don't think this thing wants to stay in on me. It doesn't. Okay, so it swaps. Does it go into the Morpeko? No, he goes into the Piloswine. Okay. So this Piloswine's going to take a decent bit more damage from the Pain Split, which I think is good. It's also going to be burned. Now, the question is... Piloswine is at, what? 45%-ish? It's a special set. So it's at, what? 45%. We're at 190. I'm not going to lose that much from going for Pain Split, so I'm going to go for it again, I think. Especially because Freeze Stride doesn't do that much, and I want to catch him on another switch, because I don't think he stays in. If he does stay in... He does stay in, okay. He gains just like a tad bit of HP. He goes for Earth Power, so he expected a switch. This is fine. Because he actually loses that HP and a little bit more, too. Like, I could just keep going for Pain Split here. Because he's either going to lose a crap ton of his HP, or he's going to swap into something and get me healthy again. He does swap. Okay, so something's going to lose a large amount of HP. I think it's the Morpeko. It is the Morpeko. Okay. Decent chunk of HP gone from the Morpeko, so that's good. Now, the Morpeko does get, like, Brick Break and stuff, but I don't know what set this is going to be. I'm gonna go into tech here. This is a very close game, though. This is 100% a very close game. What do we see? We see Ore Wheel. Okay. That's a crit, man. What the heck? Alright, so that was a crit. So we're at 146 currently. So we're at 46%. That was a crit. And that took me from... roughly... It is... from 278. 278 to 126-ish. That's close. Could probably go for an Earth Power here. I don't really need Bastiodon for anything, so I'm gonna go for an Earth Power. You guys go for Brick Break. Okay, that's fine. So he does knock us out. He's not choiced. He does have a +1 speed boost as well. I don't even know what this thing is, so I kind of want to go into it for it. Because I don't think Brick Break does that much. It could do a good chunk. If it is adamant, it could do a lot of damage, but I think Tidy Up makes a lot more sense. Because then I can... I mean, I would outspeed it, depending. +1. If it is adamant, I would outspeed it. So I'm going to go into Fuzzy Feed. Because then I can get to +1/+1 and Body Slam it, or U-turn. I'm going to Tidy Up. I want to get rid of these rocks for Bobbery and Fuzzipede, especially if he knocks off. Definitely a really close game here. He goes for another Aura Wheel instead of Brick Break and gets a lot of damage off. That's annoying. But that's okay, we got rid of the rocks. I think he might have Psychic Fangs last. But regardless of that, I think I lose. I mean, Sludge Wave is a play that I can make with Bobbery. I also didn't see what item it was at all. And that's just goes to show what my attention span is like at the moment. And we actually lose our item. Okay, great. That is so good. So we're at 109. We're at 40%. We might live in Aura Wheel. It depends if he's Jolly or if he's Adamant, if it's Aura Wheel. Again, though, he probably has Psychic Fangs. 109, he's at like 80. It's not really worth it to... I can go for a Will-O-Wisp and hope. He goes for an Aura Wheel. We do go down. Okay, so that's GG. Taunts Golduck threw me for a loop. And I probably should have gone for another Trailblaze and risked the Dazzling Gleam knockout, but it was very close. I probably also could have saved Flat Bowl. It was Black Glasses. Yeah, I missed that before. Okay. GG's. GG's to Gunk. Again, this week I was very distracted by personal stuff, so I kind of threw this team together last minute, made a last minute change with Bastiodon that probably cost me the game, honestly. GG's to Gunk. Another disappointing loss. This low tier meta is not my style at all, and I'm slowly starting to realize that every single week. I'm loving Flat Bowl. I love Mabosstiff. Weezing is fun. Everything else is just trash. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Join me back for next week if you really want to see some more garbage gameplay and garbage prep. GG's to Gunk, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.